Everyone, and welcome inside the shoebox. It's Penwood basketball on SFBN as the Patriots take on Lincoln High School today. Welcome on inside. I'm Ray Dunn, joined by Javon Edwards. And Javon, a class of 2008 Penwood grad. What's it like to be back? We're happy to have you.
Oh man, it feels great to be back in the shoebox. You know, last time I think I was here for an official game, it was my senior night. So it's about 12 years removed, but I'm happy to be here and watch this exciting game. So thanks for having me.
I'm excited to have you as we get ready. I believe the anthem coming up, and we'll take a quick pause for that. But we'll get more into your playing career on the other side of the anthem.
Awesome. Look forward to it.
All right, it's go time from inside the shoebox. Penwood and Lincoln coming up in just a second. We're going to get starting lineups announced, and then we'll be off to tip-off. But we want to get into a little bit of Javon Edwards. 12 years since you've been inside the shoebox, your senior night. Well, just that amount of time to think about coming back, being here once again at Penwood. What are the emotions like?
Oh man, just hearing the Pledge of Allegiance or just the anthem just still brings chills to my spine. Makes me want to go out there and play right with them. But it feels good to be back here. You know, as a happy alumni of Penwood. You know, just to get my services back to watch. You know, the new future of Penwood.
And the future here on display as Kelvin Crawford wins the tip-off for Penwood. Bit of a different starting lineup for the Patriots in this one. You see Boyma Kai with the ball up top in the double team. And he's going to stay with Penwood.
Looks like Lincoln is coming out aggressive with a quick double team to start the game.
Teams have tried to utilize as we get a quick interception there, and the layup not good. That one's off the mark. It's number 11, Tamir Powell, trying to get the finish. Got the steal.
Looks like Lincoln is in the full man-to-man press. Oh, no. Oh, offense.
Three-pointer on the way, but short.
Turnover.
Rajon Knight was the one that fired away that three. Layup and the foul. Count that one.
Look like Lincoln starting off, 3-0. Look like they're coming out with a lot of heat.
Certainly can see the energy in them. There was an energy they had through warm-ups.
Yes.
I kind of felt as we were sitting here watching them, they were aggressive as they were just warming up.
It seemed like they came off the bus ready to play. It seemed like they're trying to put their name in something, I guess, and that's the right way I want to say it, I guess.
Early going for them as the public league a little bit slower to get started than the surrounding suburbs. Again, COVID protocols everywhere different, so Philadelphia a little bit slower to get everything started. As that was James Fowler getting the bucket and the free throw. So an early 3-0 lead for Lincoln, and Akai works himself into a double. Kenneth firing away from three off the mark. Fowler with the board. Sayo Kenneth has had a couple of Good game shooting as this one fired away from 3 and off the mark. Offensive rebound for Knight.
Seems like Penn was not boxing out right now. What's going on? Think they're in the 2-3?
I believe they are in the 2-3 here. Kelvin Crawford utilizing his size inside. Listed at 6'7", and another three-pointer on the way. That one misses everything, and it'll go the other way. Early on attack here. Probably once they slow it down, it's going to be inside-out type of attack, trying to work into that zone, and they've been very, very quick to fire away from 3. We're going to get a jump. Boy, Mackay trapped, and they're really trapping him up top.
Yeah, I was going to say they're really trapping the corners very hard. So if I were Penwood, I would try to find a way to bring the ball up the middle of the court to try to alleviate some of that trapping pressure on the corners.
Using that sideline as the third defender.
Yes, sir.
Controlling it up top is Powell, off to Knight. Now Fowler working down low, kicks it out. Christopher Murray firing away from 3 off the mark. Akai with the board.
All right, 2-on-1 break.
Quickly, Shillingsford
and
one.
one.
Mackay Shillingsford gets the Patriots on the board, and he'll have a chance for one more. And that's the basketball you like to see, just bowling towards the rim, keeping yourself under control.
Yes, and way to run a two-man break, 2-on-1. Way to keep the court spread, so the defender had to make a decision on who he's going to defend. So it was good. Good offense, Penwood.
Free throw off the mark. Board pulled down by Knight.
Now, I was told this game had a lot of extra energy because one of the players for Lincoln is a transfer of Penwood.
Christopher Murray, almost like you knew you were talking about him,
yes.
Going off the layup there. Familiar with the Patriots program.
Mm-hmm. Good D.
Good work. Kenneth just reaching in there and swiping at that.
Early timeout?
Early timeout. We'll keep it here for now. And from what you've seen so far, what do you like and what are you not liking on the Penwood side?
Well, I could definitely see that Lincoln came out to make a statement. And it looks like Penwood is just starting to get used to the pressure. So they're probably going to, attack it a little bit differently now. But I think they're starting to be a little bit more under control. So maybe we'll get to see a good boxing match, per se. What do you think?
For me, what I'm excited about is I have yet to see Jerry Flynn play this season. Jerry Flynn back this week. And when I actually got in here, I was looking over and I saw a water bottle that said Jay Flynn on it. And I was like, I think I'm going to get to see Jerry Flynn play today. So I'm excited for that. Getting to talk to Coach before the game. Obviously excited. Anytime you got someone as talented as him back on the floor, that's always something very exciting.
Yes,
so.
And it should only impact the team, right?
Right. Yeah, the way that news was broken to me was by a water bottle.
Hey, sometimes you find the breaking news in different ways.
Absolutely. And Lincoln controlling it up top. That is Murray. So try and navigate through this zone.
Mm-hmm. Watch that middle.
And Knight falling away. Can't get to go. Knocked around, though. It's going to stay Lincoln. Good work by Murray.
So what Penwood needs to do is just try to limit the second chance points. Lincoln is getting possession after possession. If we could find a way to box out and limit the second chance points, I think we'll be in a better position. It's another offensive rebound.
Not doing a good job early on boxing out.
Another offensive rebound.
I think that was a fourth chance there. And it's finally finished off. That's Samir Whitaker with the bucket. Naeem Purnell with it.
Walk.
Sayo Kenneth able to break the press. Sakai head to the rim. He'll be fouled. Again, number 11, that's Tamir Powell.
The good thing is once Penwood breaks the press, they have a way of penetrating to get into that hole, but they just have to be able to break the press.
And like you said about getting it down the middle, so a couple times early on, those double teams. Guy off on the first free throw.
A ball fake will go a long way because they are just reacting to the ball.
Couple substitutions. Evan Bulwer coming in. Abdullah Dublin coming in. Crawford and Kenneth coming out. firing away from 3 off the mark, but another offensive board. Another board, and it's just Lincoln dominating inside. They're not quite shooting the ball the best, but they're able to get the rebounds they need them, and Shillingsford fouled down low. I believe they're going to get Whitaker with that one.
Yep. Now, Lincoln isn't finishing, but they are crashing the boards very, very hard. I'm not sure if that was one of the keys to what the coach was talking to them about, or is that just in their DNA?
No, but so far they have definitely shown a propensity to getting inside. As Samir Massenberg going to check in for the Patriots, and he's got it headed to the bucket, and he is fouled. So you can see early on, and something that Massenberg does fantastic is getting downhill. You saw it right there.
Yep.
Really good job of drawing fouls, working his way to the bucket.
And this is Lincoln's 4th team foul. So if they keep up this pace, they're going to be in the 1-and-1 very early. So this is only going to help Penwood. So it's going to have Lincoln is going to have to either fall back on the pressure or have to be smart with the pressure, because they're going to be a 1-on-1 situation. So now we have to make sure we make our free throws if we get to the free throw line.
Absolutely, and something to keep an eye on there. Whitaker within 30 seconds there picks up 2 fouls.
Wow.
He's been important so far on the boards down low. Something to watch for him as Massenberg takes advantage of the line, knocks down both, and it's only a 1-point lead for Lincoln now. Tough foul to pick up right there on Dublin. Sophomore guard brings such a presence on the offensive end. Almost halfway through this first quarter. Lincoln going to try and break the press. Good look. Fowler. Pass down low, no good.
There you go, good rebound
by Massenberg. Now he'll be rewarded by bringing the ball up. Try and trap, and he throws it away. Lincoln working the press, going up. And we'll give him credit for an almost dunk.
Almost, we give him that.
Give Murray credit for that one. I thought he was grabbing at the rim. It was nice. It was nice, and you know, you're not breaking anything.
If that was me, that's a dunk.
That's a
that's a dunk.
I guess I shouldn't be picky on picking dunks, because there's no way I'm getting up that high. Fire away from 3 off the mark. And Lincoln now with it. Murray again. Murray attacks, pulls up, off the mark. Offensive board. Massenberg ripping it away. And now Dublin with it. Dublin
that's a good D too.
Running in tonight. A little bit of flurry of action there.
Just got to get under control right now. It's just a lot of rushing, but no real destination. Just need to take our time and just figure out what we want to do. But as far as what we're playing, the game is still very close. So there hasn't been anyone, setting the tone is trying to separate themselves. I can see that Lincoln is hitting the glass hard, but Penwood is still fighting back. They just, if they can find a way to rebound, this game could be really good.
And there's a board almost on cue for you. Shillingsford pulls it down. The trap coming. Purnell to Kenneth. Kenneth for 3 off the mark. And James Fowler pulled down the board. Now Murray attacking. Powell dishes inside. Ball knocked away. And Purnell coming up with it the other way. Purnell leading the break, and he's going to draw a foul headed to the bucket.
It's good attack. We're seeing where the weakness is when it comes to Lincoln. Anything in that red area, as long as you attack, it seems like they're giving up fouls. So if I was Penwood, if I was Coach Lindermeyer, continue to have them drive. I would try to fall back on some of the jump shooting that we're doing, because we're not really hitting anything now. Continue to hit the heart of the defense, and then allow, if you get a wide open jump shot, settle with that.
You can also see the legs on this team. We had talked in pregame over with Lincoln and their head coach about the conditioning's there. They have been working on the conditioning. You can see Penwood right now. They're about a month into their season. You can see the conditioning picking up for them. These two teams really want to run it and run up and down the floor.
But we have to identify that, this season is very unique. We're in COVID, so a lot of teams have different ways of having to train. You don't have your gyms are not always as open. So it's either the personal dedication of each player or what they can do outside. So I know at Lincoln they said they did some work at the LA Fitness, and they did some hill climbing. I'm pretty sure Penwood is doing something as well. But this year you're going to find teams with variances as when it comes to conditioning and where they are as a team.
Right. I can assure you my gym time is taking a hit. Is this down to Kenneth? He tries to put it down. He's going to draw the foul. Good look on the pass.
Great look.
And that would have brought the gym down had there been a crowd.
But the main thing is, the one thing that I keep looking at is the fouls. Lincoln has 6 fouls, and it doesn't reset. So they're going to be 1-1. This, I promise you, we're going to look back at the fourth quarter. It's going to be the game of free throws. So I would love to know what the free throw margins look like and what the percentage is, because it's going to determine the winner or loss of this game today, I promise.
Well, you'll be happy to know I've been keeping track of free throws over here, so you're going to be able to get the numbers there.
Thank you. I appreciate that. See, he's great. Ray's great.
Worked with me for a quarter. You might change that by the fourth.
Let me not get too ahead of myself.
Yeah. Lincoln with it now. Double team coming. Massenberg and Bullward able to get the turnover.
So did you see what Coach Lindenberg did there? He went to a 2-2-1 press, and what that did was it slowed them down. Before they did man-to-man, which allowed them to get up the court a little faster, he wanted to slow them down and have them think a little bit. So the 2-2-1 change was great because it had them a little off balance. So good call, Coach.
That's the analysis we get from you, Javon, as Kenneth firing away from 3 off the mark. A couple have just routed around the rim for him. Now coming the other way is Knight. He pulls up for 2 and knocks it down.
Got to stop the ball a little earlier.
John Knight. Now Massenberg bringing it up.
Good job.
Bullward bowling his way to the rim. Gets the layup to go.
That's attack the heart. Attack. You see that little red? That's the heart right there. You just attack that. Get your foot in that paint, baby. Good job. Good take.
I wish you all could see Javon right there as that play was going
I'm sorry.
down.
Proud alumni, baby. I'm sorry. I'm a little biased.
Lincoln working it inside.
Rebound. Let's go. Push it.
Purnell get with the board.
Double dribble.
He's going to turn it over with the double dribble. Knight with it up top. Back to him in the corner inside Folks, and that one's out of bounds.
Good there. If he gets over on that shoulder a little earlier, they won't even try to pass it.
Now Knight gonna inbound the ball. This one for 3, and it goes. A 3-pointer for Matthew Williams.
And that's one of the players that Coach said we need to watch out for as well. So maybe we need to keep an eye on that. But that's like the first 3-pointer made all day, so it's not like we've been hitting a lot. But we never know what's going to happen in the first, second, third, or fourth quarter.
And Bullward headed his way towards the bucket. It's called for the charge.
Yeah, a little out of control.
That's a good positioning down low. Lincoln taking over, up 12-10. Just over a minute left in this first quarter. And this will be a game of free throws, considering you have 4 fouls on one side, 6 fouls on the other through one quarter.
Let's see what teams practices free throws.
And that's another thing in this year of the pandemic.
Yes.
Gym time cut down. You don't get to just stand there at the end of practice and shoot free throws as much as you would in a non-COVID season.
Yes, and the worst thing about it is in most neighborhoods, at least these neighborhoods, the courts are down. So it's like they even have the ability to go to their park. So it's what do you do unless 2K is working for you?
And Rapp and I have had this conversation on the broadcast before about shooting free throws in empty gym, or mostly empty gym like this, or shooting free throws in the packed gym with everyone screaming at you. I'm curious what you would prefer.
Well, I mean, in an ideal situation, of course, you'll want silence. But in order for you to truly get better at your craft, you have to do it with, fans or at least some type of noise. So when I used to train in high school, we used to put music on, and that was like our form of simulation of crowd noise. But when you're in a game and it's a hectic situation and you have 1,000, hundreds, or whatever the case may be, you're shooting free throws. If you're used to shooting in an empty gym, that's going to rock your head. It's going to be hard to really find focus because you're going to hear every noise. So I would say always try to have some type of noise because no gym is ever quiet.
Akai finding Kenneth in the corner, off the mark.
Oh, good
But
dig.
Massenberg going to take it back, trying to find Bullward. Bullward working his way to the rim. The left-hand layup, no. Lincoln with it, got to move quickly. This one down to Folks. Folks slams it home. And that is how the first quarter is going to end. Damir Folks gets up, throws it down. It's 14-10 Lincoln. We will be back with the second quarter here on SFBN. Well, welcome back inside the shoebox. I'm Ray Dunn, joined by Javon Edwards, bringing you some Penwood basketball as the Patriots taking on Lincoln High School, and Lincoln leads 14-10 after one. Real quick before it gets started, Javon, what'd you see from that first quarter?
I thought it was a good quarter. I think that Penwood started off a little slow. Lincoln definitely came out with a lot more energy. I think the pressure got to Penwood a little early, but I think that as Penwood got used to the game, they kind of found their way into the game. So they knew that attacking the floor and getting to the basket was going to help them tremendously. So I think that they're a little bit better, but we'll see what happens in the second quarter because this is what determines the rest of the game.
Absolutely. Dublin was able to get the deflection, take the steal, but was not able to finish. Now we're going to get a foul on Penwood going the other way.
What were your thoughts on the first quarter?
And Schillingsford, I agree with you that Lincoln definitely came out with much more energy. I think I've liked the adjustments I've seen Penwood make, but I do think that Lincoln's overall aggressiveness has really been the difference. I think so far they've just been the more aggressive team, especially down low. Early on, that was how they got their lead. Is this jumper no good, and look who's got the ball. That's Jerry Flynn.
Uh-oh, there's your guy.
Excited to see what Jerry Flynn's got to offer. Is Dublin looking for Schillingsford. Schillingsford no good. Boward pulling it down, and Dublin gets the layup to go.
Now Johnny Flynn has my number on, so I would definitely want to see how he does today.
Will he rep you correctly? Let's see. A couple of number ones.
Good job, yes.
He was number one.
I was number one. And I want to say that Penwood is now turned into more of like a 3-2. It's like a 2-3-3-2 hybrid, where if there's no one in the corner, they go up to a 3-2. If someone is not in the corner, they fall back into a 3-2. But I like that because that middle guy is being very, very active. And anytime the ball goes into middle, you see his hands moving. And that's why we've been able to get the last couple steals. So that's a good job. Good call, Coach.
Evan Boward headed to the line. That foul is on number 5, Demir Folks.
How's Penwood doing from the free throw line?
There you go. So far, 7 made free throws on 10 attempts.
Okay, 70%. That's not bad.
Make it 8 of 11.
In order to win the game, they will have to shoot over 70% to win this game.
They have made their last 8 free throws.
Awesome.
Working down low here. This one, a long 2 off the mark. Folks nearly pulled down the offensive board, and Boward smartly lets that one go out of bounds.
And I'm not sure if they're missing longer or we're doing a little bit better on the glass. I'm still trying to determine that.
Massenberg with it. A good look down low to Schillingsford. Schillingsford with position gets the layup to go, and Penwood has the lead. Schillingsford, who had Penwood's first bucket in the first quarter, gets that one to go. Now gives
back
them
door, watch back door.
Folks thought he had his teammate. Instead, that one goes off Schillingsford. Flynn with it. Forward now.
Don't force. Get it out, get it out, get it out.
Dublin for 3 off the back of the rim. Boward real aggressive, gets the board. Dublin keeping it alive.
Get it out, reset, reset, run something, run something, run something.
Flynn with it up top.
Good job. So they're in the 3-2 defense, so we need to try to get somebody in the middle of that field.
Flynn gets called for the travel. Trying to get out to Dublin for 3. I gotta say, the more I watch Evan Boward, the more I'm impressed with what he can do. And it's so much of just the pure aggression, the pure passion he's got on the floor. There's been nights where the numbers have shown scoring-wise, but really what he's able to do and the aggressiveness he plays with, as Folks is able to get into the lane and get that one to go, tying this game back up. Massenberg and Flynn working with it. Finds Schillingsford. Schillingsford to the corner.
Pump fake, pump fake.
It's going to be a turnover. Lincoln taking over.
It feels so good to see this new floor in Penwood. You know, when I play, we had the regular floor. The shoebox looks so good right now. I'm so happy to be here.
Schillingsford with the board. It is a very, very nice floor.
Yes, it is.
For me, it's wonderful because the inside three-point line, outside three-point line is different, so I can see with the feet.
Yep.
Shillingsford attacking the rim.
It was.
Off the mark. Bullward pulling it down. The dish. And the finish. Get Flynn on the board and the foul. And there you go. We praise Flynn for the finish, but Bullward pulls down the offensive board,
he's
finds the dish.
He's playing a great game right now.
Second foul on Tamir Powell.
And they're in a bonus now, so any foul that they get, whether it's a reach or a drive, it's going to be 1-on-1 until we get to double bonus. So let's keep an eye on that. How many free throws we shoot in a 1-on-1? Are we going to continue to be aggressive, or are we going to start to become a jump shooting team during this time?
Flynn off the mark, which means I jinxed them by the 8-for-8 comment.
That's okay.
This one from 3 off the mark.
Good rebound.
Now we're going to say that one's out on Flynn.
Oh, come on, ref.
Got that camera angle down low on the baseline. Might need to switch
on
to that. Another three-pointer on the way. That one's short. Flynn pulls it down, trying to get on the run, and instead draws a foul, and we will be in the 1-on-1.
There you go.
That is 3 on Samir Whitaker. A 6'4" forward in his senior year.
He has 3 already, right?
Yes.
So we have a couple of players from Lincoln in foul trouble. We haven't even hit halftime yet, so good job.
Flynn knocks that one down. And now with the next foul, it's double bonus. So we'll be seeing 2 free throws. Don't even have to earn the second. Yeah, 2-for-2 trip for him. Ten of the last 11 free throws gone down for Penwood, and we got a foul on Massenburg.
One more foul, we're going to be in the 1-on-1, so we need to be a little cautious of how we defend. We don't want to just get too early in the bonus, too early before we need to be. Watch that middle.
And jump ball down low. Purnell down there for Penwood. And Murray down there for Lincoln. That one's going to go with Penwood. So Penwood with a 4-point advantage. A 10-2 run in the first 3.5 minutes of this second quarter. Bullward looking down low, not able to find him. Shillingsford fighting for it, gets himself to the line. That one's on Murray.
That's his second, right? That's his first?
I'm going to wait, let the scoreboard tell me, because I think I am missing a foul over here, so I want to make sure. Oh, they didn't get Murray for that at all, so that one's on me. That one is on me, my bad. Shillingsford off on the first. He's already got 4 points. He's sophomore forward. He's off on the second. An empty trip and Lincoln coming the other way. Downhill, Murray gets it to go. He's up to 4 points. Massenburg now with it for Penwood, looking down for Shillingsford. Moving a little too quickly.
Just one quick reversal, just set it back up. You don't have to rush. We don't have to let them rush us. We can take our time. 1-2 hard dribbles, knock it back behind.
Couple of substitutions for Penwood. Kenneth Crawford return. And now this one away from 3 off the mark. Board by Murray. Gets
jump ball.
A foul.
No jump?
I thought Kenneth had him pretty cleanly over the top, but they are going to get Crawford for the foul. That is Kelvin Crawford's second foul. And now every time you hear a whistle, for the most part, we're going to be head to the line.
Yes, we are. This is when the game slows down.
So put your feet up at home.
Yeah, it's
Get comfy. You got 4 minutes of free throw filled basketball before you get to halftime.
Yes,
this game is not up at 20.
There you go. Now one quick reverse on the tech. One quick reverse on the tech. There you go.
Working this one to the corner. This one away from 3. Crawford not able to pull it down. It's going to stick Lincoln. And James Fowler giving it across to Knight. Knight spinning, looks for Murray. Murray attacking the basket, gets the foul and gets the bucket. And Lincoln has the lead again. Christopher Murray up to 8 points. We got a timeout from Penwood.
Now we know Murray has a lot to play for. He's wanting to make a statement. So to him, this game is more than just a regular season game. He's trying to prove to Penwood something. So he's out for vengeance. What do you think?
I think he's playing tremendous so far. I think he's certainly showing Penwood what they know he can do.
Having a strong second quarter.
Very much so. And he is really the reason right now Lincoln's been able to pull themselves back into the lead. I had mentioned less than a minute ago that it was a 10-2 run to open up the second quarter for Penwood. Ever since that, it's been the Christopher Murray show.
Yes, it has been. And that's why it was a great timeout by Coach, just to kind of slow the momentum down, try to get his team back in order to see hopefully they come out the right way. Make sure they box out his free throw.
And you've been in the huddle with Coach in a
yes.
timeout. What do you think that message sounds like right now?
Right now is more or less, hey, everybody settle down. Let's get back to what we need to do. Let's run our offense. Let's make sure we box out. And let's make sure we key in on the players that we need to key in on, because everyone's not beating us. Only a few people beating us. So if we key in on them, it should change the outcome of the game.
Murray off the mark on the free throw. Purnell thought he had Din Bullard able to come down with it. Now he's running. Working out to Massenberg. Massenberg now driving, kicks it, finds its way to Purnell for 3. Off the mark, but we got a foul. I believe they're going to get Knight for that foul.
And is he shooting 3? Yes, he is.
He is. John Knight with his first foul. Purnell, who's already 2 for 2 at the line. 3 more. So when this trip to the line's over, we got 7, 10, 12, 13, 15, 17 free throws attempted by the time this trip ends. Purnell is now 4 of 4 from the line.
17 free throws attempted in the first half is a great stat.
Yeah.
That shows that Penwood is being very aggressive. Now we need to make sure that with that 17, the hope is that you double that in the second half, right? So you want to make sure you mirror what you did in the first half. So if we maintain that first, they're going to foul out, and we should win the game.
Fowler going up. That's sent back. Flynn with it now. And Massenberg and Flynn working up top. This is something I've been waiting to see, the 2 guards. Massenberg falls. We got a jump ball, and that one is going Lincoln. Guy coming in for Massenberg.
The only question that I would ask is, with the 17 free throws that we attempted, how many offensive rebounds does Lincoln have?
On each side, that's what's kept each team in it. I don't think either team has really shot the ball particularly impressively, but offensive rebounds have helped Lincoln, and the fouls have certainly helped Penwood, as that one's off the mark. After a little bit of fighting down there, that's going to stay Lincoln. Murray with it up top. Fowler working inside. Shillingsford trying to get position. There's going to be a foul, and free throws coming up here. Samir Williamson going to the line.
Penwood doesn't need to jump in that situation. They just need to put their hands up and have him shoot over them. I don't think he's proven that he can yet, so I don't know if we need to try to block his shot. I think we just keep our hands up and just be as tall as we are and let him shoot over. I think we'll be fine.
Especially the guys like Shillingsford, and when Calvin Crawford's on the floor, isn't he? 6'5", 6'7".
Yes.
You got the height.
And the length. So they're about 7 foot with their hands up. So as long as they just keep their hands up nice and tall, that could alleviate them trying to jump, and the ref won't have to see them try to get a foul.
Williamson able to knock down the second, and a 1-point lead for Lincoln.
Good job.
Flynn and Purnell trying to work it up the floor. That's to Shillingsford. He's trapped in along the sideline. And I say he stepped out of bounds before he threw it off Williamson's body.
If Flynn would have cut a little earlier after he made that pass, Shillingsford would have saw him wide open, but he delayed a little while, and that's why he didn't see open man. Watch the skip pass.
Working into Williamson. Williamson kicking it across. This one for 3 off the mark.
I love Flynn. I love it. He's a great rebounder.
Trying to work quickly on the other end. Pass taken away by Williams, and Matthew Williams kicking it out to Murray. Murray losing control, and Purnell on the floor. Him and Murray going to try and figure it out with that one.
Get up.
Now Fowler ends up with it. Williams doesn't get to go, but he will head to the line. How about that sequence?
No, that was a very unique sequence. I love to see the kids get on the floor for the ball. That was great to see. But, you know, that's how game is sometimes.
Yeah.
What do you think?
I love it. I love the aggressive nature. That was my role. I was not – the only reason I was on the floor is because I was aggressive. I was running after wherever the ball was, that's where I was trying to get to.
I always say it starts with effort and heart. And as long as you start,
I had effort and heart. They didn't have any talent. That was the problem.
You know, talent will come, but if you got the effort and heart, at least you can stay.
That one's off the mark.
Another rebound by Flynn. He at least had 6 rebounds so far.
Making me upset. I didn't keep track of his rebounds.
He at least has 6 rebounds so far. He's doing a great job crashing the boards.
A little bit of a break in the action here, tying a shoe down there on the baseline.
They're all tired. I know they are.
They've been running.
Yes, they have.
Murray bringing it up for Lincoln. Knight with it.
Good D.
Right inside Williams, and we're going to get a foul. That's going on number 2, Samir Williamson. He was pulling his man out of the paint.
That's his 3rd foul.
So Samir Whitaker and Samir Williamson both with 3 fouls right now for Lincoln.
You only get 5.
Only get 5. That's a tough one to pick up, too, because I think Williams is going to be able to finish off that bucket regardless. Now Flynn coming down the floor, attacking the bucket. That's going to be an offensive foul, and that'll be Flynn's 2nd.
But you see how in that play, how he got the ball after the press break, how he could just sprint through. If you did that the following play when the guy got trapped in the corner, he would have got the ball the same way. So every time when the ball is obviously, he's sprint down the middle of the court because he's going to be the one that's open.
And for him on that one, you just want him to stop.
Stop.
Yes.
He needs to trust in that little 10 to 15-foot jump shot. I know he can make it.
One's off the mark.
Pivot,
Pulled down by Bullward.
Outlet, good job. You're good. You can bring
Purnell bringing it down. As Flynn had checked out. Bullward now trapped.
Good job.
Able to get himself out of it, and the dish down to Shillingsford. Now out to Massenburg. Massenburg for 2, knocks it down, and Penwood takes the lead as we tick down to the last minute of play here in the half.
Great shot, great patience. Close outs. Let's get a stop here, fellas. Let's get a stop here.
Purnell. Some aggressive defense. This one,
rebound,
folks, off the mark.
Let's go.
Good job by Kenneth boxing out. Now Massenburg running with it.
Corner.
Massenburg finding Kenneth. Kenneth getting smacked on the arm as he tried to drive. That one is on Murray. That's Murray's 2nd. Now 2 free throws await Kenneth. Kenneth with 2 for 2 earlier from the line. Off the mark on that one. Been here for a couple of good Kenneth games. See him score 14 points in 2 different outings.
Okay.
Knocks that one down. If he really gets it going from beyond the arc, it's a fun sight to see. He's had a couple opportunities in this first half. Not able to knock one down yet. And now with 20 seconds left in the half, Lincoln down a bucket.
Good D.
Deflection working its way back to Lincoln. Now 10 seconds left. They're working it around. Murray from beyond the arc knocks it down and gives Lincoln the lead. 5 seconds left here. Clock ticking down. And Kenneth getting it to Massenberg, and that is how the teams will head to the locker room. At halftime, it's Lincoln 26, Penwood 25. You are tuned into SFBN. Stick around. I believe there's a halftime interview coming with Rap Curry. So be sure to stick around for that, and we'll be back to give you the second half.
Yes, you will.
Got a little hum. Can you turn them off for 1 second? I think we got a little hum here. Got a little hum out of the second one. Can you hear it?
It's just softly. It's not.
Maybe it's loud. Oh, there you go. I turned the return down. All right, we're good. We live? How you going, everybody? My name is Rap Curry, athletic director here at Penn High School, and I'm with one of my favorite all-time Penwood athletic guys, Chris Jones.
How y'all doing? I'm Chris Jones, graduated class of 2020. I'm a first-year mechanical engineering at Florida A&M University, and I'm here with Today Rap. Man, it feels great to be back.
That's awesome. It's awesome. So, first of all, before we talk about the stream team thing, you got to also talk about your soccer career here. Talk about playing Penwood soccer.
Oh, yes, sir. I was just defending line, back defender for 4 years, ever since freshman year. Started out in middle school, and I loved it. I thought it was going to be like one of the sports that I just get into and don't really like it. No, I loved it.
Well, you were very competitive, and the soccer teams were good during your years. And you got to only play in some district tournaments as well.
Yep.
But then we got a new relationship. You became a leader and facilitator of our stream team. So why don't you tell a little bit about your process with that?
Oh, being part of the stream team was like one of an amazing opportunity to do. Like sit here working with guys with the cameras and live streaming all the sports, all the games. And it was really cool coming together, just like, learning something new. Everybody's learning something new. And it's a good thing to do, especially like given with opportunities like this, just learning something small, something big that you can do something else with. I started doing stuff down at Florida A&M where I'm taking videos and cropping them together for all the intramural sports, kind of like advertise it on the side. So, and this experience was like really great. And running it with just students, that was also an amazing part to get all the students involved and just coming out to the game, staying out late, having fun, but also just learning about sports too. Sports was a big thing for me. Soccer, I was in band, did tennis, and the whole athletic department here, it was great. And I'm glad I had this opportunity.
I'm sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off there, but what I wanted to say, one of the things that you did, so first of all, if you ever really get to see, and you can't really see the whole cabinet background, Chris actually produced the show. So it wasn't like he just came in here and learned how to just run the camera, which is a big part too. But he learned how to produce the show. And so I would have requests, as I always do. Everybody knows I'm always pushing the envelope, right? That's why we're here. But you actually learned how to produce it, and you had to go back and not only not only asked questions from the SFBN team to kind of go further, but you also did your own research and learned how to do stuff. So, I mean, tell them a little bit about just actually producing the show, setting everything up.
With like producing the show, setting everything up, and setting the cameras, make sure we getting the right angles, making sure, you know, everything looks good, clarity, mic wise, you know. And then like with producing, I sat like maybe hours just watching a whole bunch of basketball games and a whole bunch of NFL games, see how, you know, oh, which camera to cut, you know, how to look at this from this angle, oh, which angle's better from this point of view. You know, and it's crazy because with all the cameras, you got different perspectives.
Yes.
And you got to think about, like, you know, what the audience wants to see. You know, how does it look on their end? You know, what are they seeing, you know, that you're producing? And, you know, working with 3, 4 cameras, it gets a little hectic, you know, going back and forth. No, but once you get the real down on it, I've read some books, watching all the films, game films, even rewatching some of the films we do here. You know, practice makes perfect. And producing the show was, like, one of the amazing things I've done.
So let's just talk about this because I think an interesting part of the situation is, you know, you're a mechanical engineer. You're down at Florida A&M, which is an awesome, awesome situation.
Yes, sir. Number one HBCU.
There you go, representing. And, you know, incredible on-campus life. You got to go do first semester down there, but obviously with COVID, you're back home, which is talk about us. But you just talk about how the world is so visual. So even for me, as an old school guy, I'm not a real social media guy. I'm not as current. You know, I had to push to kind of do this process just even for myself. But for you in mechanical engineering, it might not necessarily go directly in your major, but it helps with being visual. Just talk about like how you feel about the visual aspect of it and your involvement.
Like being involved really helps me gain like a perspective on, you know, many opportunities, many jobs out there. You know, especially like since I'm doing mechanical engineering, I might not do anything with streaming. But, like, it's a good thing to know. You know, who knows? I might have to come back here, you know, pick up a few games, you know, teach a little people something. But it's like you do all this stuff, interacting stuff, you know, it may not have to do with your main focus, but it's good to go out and learn new things, you know, experience new things, you know, as much as you can. Learn as much as you can because that'll definitely help you throughout school, like going to college. I know people here who've gone to college know the struggle. You know, education is really important and it's hard, but you just got to keep going, seize any opportunity you can get, it'll help you out in the future and do better.
And that's really one of the things that I wanted to kind of branch into before I say our last part. I know we're running out of time here, but Chris is one of those students, right? And we say student athlete because he's all the way around, but he was one of those students that participated in this because he participates in everything, right? Whether it was stuff he was doing for the Christian club that was in Upper Darby, whether it was stuff that he was doing working. He worked throughout high school as well. He's working now, even though he's home and still taking 3 classes online. Like, his involvement meter is on a whole nother level. And that's the one thing, right, we talk about in athletics, it's the involvement. But most people focus around just sport. You said something that was very important, which was get involved in everything you can because you don't know what can help you.
Yeah, you can build relationships. Like, this whole sports program is like a big family to me. I met a lot of people from, like, different countries and, like, different parts of the state and from different states. And, like, playing something we love, like, each of us love and do, it really, like, builds that good relationship and it helps you enjoy, you know, what you're doing. Like, if you haven't done any sports, I think you should try it. It's a good thing. You know, meet a lot of new people. You might like it, you might not. You never know until you try.
So last thing we'll talk about is that Chris is home, and I want y'all to take access of him. We're going to actually hire him to help produce some of our shows here, but we're talking about also doing a show right as well, a podcast version where really, in essence, we can talk to student athletes and former and current just about being involved in different things and seeing outside of the athletic realm. The whole concept behind this whole filming process is just to make you aware that there's so much more going on, that there's all these jobs around athletics, but in the world. So we get locked in on knowing who LeBron and them are, but we got to really focus on the bigger picture. So we got 50 seconds left. Anything else you wanted to add before we go?
No, I'm good.
All right, well, listen, Grab Curry, I'm happy to be here with my man Chris Jones. You will see us doing this or doing something else. Stay tuned and go Wood.
Let's go Wood.
Welcome back inside the shoebox. Penwood basketball on SFBN. I'm Ray Dunn, joined by Javon Edwards as we're getting this second half started. Lincoln holding a slim lead in this one, 26-25. Javon, what did you see in that first half?
Well, in the first half, we saw that, Lincoln definitely came out, with a lot of energy. They came out very aggressive, with the press. Penwood started off a little slow, but as the game came along and Penwood started to attack a little bit and Lincoln got in foul trouble, we started to see the game kind of balance itself out. We saw that Penwood, at the late end of each quarter, having a minor mistake that allowed Lincoln to take the lead. But it looks like if they come out with a little bit of pressure and continue doing what they're doing, I think they should come out with the win, even though they're down by 1.
I think you've got a point on that one. The aggressiveness for Lincoln there early on. The adjustments on both sides have been pretty good. Flynn firing away at a 3 here off the mark. Ballward fighting for it. Takes that one off the dome as Lincoln tried to save that one. That was Tamir Powell trying to bring that one in bounds. And for those of us who might just be joining us, the first half was pretty split even scoring across the board on Penwood's side. Massenburg with 4, Parnell with 4, Schillingsford with 4, Bower with 4, Flynn with 4. Those are your leaders scoring the ball for Penwood as it gets it back to Flynn in the corner. Good look from him. Boward able to finish that one off.
Yeah, I can say that Penwood is definitely a score by committee type of team. We don't have, there isn't like a star player that's going to get, that's going to dominate the ball and that's going to dominate the touches. So they're definitely doing it by committee, which is great. And you can tell that Lincoln, they're trying to do it by committee, but it looks like the transfer is the one that we need to keep our eye on.
And right there, that is Fowler getting himself a bucket. Been a while since he had scored. Gives Lincoln back the lead. But as you mentioned, Chris Murray.
Yes.
Transfer 8 points for him in the first half, leading the way for Lincoln.
So during halftime, I did some thinking. I just tried to write down some keys of the next quarter for each team, right? So for Lincoln, what they need to do is they need to continue to crash the boards. I think they're doing an amazing job in crashing the boards. If they could try to execute at least on 20% more of some of those rebounds, I think that definitely help dividends. They need to continue to attack, and they need to stay out of foul trouble.
Yes.
For Penwood, they need to limit the turnovers. They're having a lot of unnecessary turnovers, unforced turnovers, what I like to call them. I think they need to continue to attack. They got Lincoln in foul trouble very early, which allowed them to get the 1-on-1 early, and they were capitalizing on the free throws. And the last thing, they need to box out.
Yeah.
If they box out, they're going to have a lot more possessions to win this game. So those are my keys keys for each team for the game. Or this half, I should say.
Yeah, well, I would agree with you on that, especially the rebounding disparity. That's been tough. And we mentioned the 2 ways that these 2 teams have been able to supplement the poor shooting on each side has been the boards for Lincoln, as Lincoln at the line right now. That's Samir Whitaker off on the first.
Yes.
And the way for Penwood has been just drawing fouls, getting to the free throw line. A lot of free throws attempted in that first half as Flynn checking out, Dublin checking back in. Lincoln with the 1-point lead, and the scoreboard shows you exactly what it's been. It's been back and forth. It's been even between these two.
Yes. It's been a very close game. So this game it's not going to be dictated by a certain player. It's going to be dictated by who makes the most free throws and who's going to box out.
Whitaker missing on both. Now Massenburg getting called for an offensive foul. He's going to be up to 3.
So Penwood has 4 team fouls, it looks like, if they change it. Or is it 3? So they have 4 team fouls already in the first 3 minutes of the quarter. So that's definitely going to hurt them as we get into the tail end of the game, because once they get to that 7, it's going to be 1-on-1 for the remainder of the game. And I'm not sure how Lincoln has been doing at the free throw line, but I'm not sure if we want to put them in a position where they're going to be getting free points.
Lincoln hasn't had quite the impressive day from the line so far, but any chance you get the line is absolutely a chance for problems to spur up for the Patriots. Again, Lincoln up 28-27 right now, holding a 1-point lead. So we are 5:59 left in this third quarter. And again, I'm going to ask you, someone that's been in that huddle, heard coach, give you those adjustments. What do you think he's telling them after they come out and commit 4 fouls early on?
We have to play under control. The beginning of the game and the beginning of the second half, we're still a lot of nerves. It's like a fresh game, so we have to slow things down. Do we want to win? Are we playing to win, or are we playing not to lose? And I think that's kind of what he's trying to convey to the team.
We've seen some struggles in close games. This one fired away and off the mark. Purnell pulling down the board. Some struggles in close games for the Patriots. They've lost 5 games in which they've held the lead in the fourth quarter.
Those are tough ones. Those are tough ones.
Boward working with it right now in the paint. Kicking that one out to Dublin. Dublin spinning, shoots it off the mark. Folks with the board, and Boward going to get called for the foul.
5 team fouls in the first 2 minutes and 31 seconds. That is going to hurt us. It looks like we're doing what Lincoln did in the first half.
Really, it is a total reversal in terms of who's committing the fouls and who we're going to expect to see at the free throw line.
So with this now, what's going to happen is Penn can't press for a while, so you probably won't see any full court pressure up until the fourth quarter. We're probably going to sit back into like a 2-3 or 3-2 zone just to be stationary, just to kind of alleviate us getting them into the 1-and-1. But now we're going to have to really do things by committee.
And that one's knocked down from deep. Matthew Williams, second three-pointer of the contest. Now a turnover from Purnell. Williams with it again. Williams attacking, gets the layup to go. So a quick 5-0 run for him personally. And the lead is up to 6 for Lincoln. And now Folks off the mark, gets his own board. They're trying to work it back down. Williams gets fouled. He'll head to the line. And it's all coming up Lincoln right now.
Looks like they're losing heck. It's a good call. Good timeout, coach. This is the time where Penn needs to come together. They need to come together. Because right now they're trying to point fingers. Who's not doing what? Who's not doing what? It doesn't matter. We're a team. We need to figure things out. We make mistakes. Let's push through.
Very difficult opening to this second half for you. And it's one thing to play aggressive. It's another thing to play out of yourself. To be able to bring yourself back into the flow of your game when you see things start to go this way, and to trust, what you've been able to do all game long. How do you do that as a player?
Well, I mean, as a player, you have to first identify what do you do. You can't cut down a tree with one stroke. So you have to identify that, okay, I can't get all these points back at one time, but let me just make sure that my next possession is better than my last possession. And just take a possession at a time, one stop at a time, but understanding what is our goal. And the goal is to win the game at the end. But it's gonna be some trials and tribulations. Basketball is a game of runs. So they had their run. Now it's our turn to get our run, but how do we turn it around and get there?
And how do you think that they're going to turn around and get there?
I mean, I think that really they need to come out and run a good set. I think they need to be patient. I think they need to figure out what has been working, which has been them penetrating, and them taking their time. And I think that they're coming out a little bit too frantic, and they're allowing their momentum to dictate what they're not doing. They're trying to match momentum for momentum, and we can't do that. This is our house. We're in the shoebox, so let's take control of ourselves and stop letting them dictate what they're doing to us.
A chance to take control comes after Folks gets his chance at the line. Demir Folks, 2 points in the first half. Knocks down the first. Extends the lead to 7.
And they also have to identify that they're not doing nothing new. It's the same press, same pressure. They didn't do anything new. They're just coming out with a little bit more energy. So let's just try to match their energy. We started the game off flat, and that's why we're in this position. We start the second half off flat. So now we have to stop getting smacked in the mouth first before we can start playing. We got to start smacking them in the mouth first.
Flynn going to find Kenneth.
There you
Kenneth
go. All the
working
way.
his way downhill.
Go up stronger than that, baby.
We're going to get him for a walk. And it'll be Lincoln basketball, so a quick turnover.
It's okay.
Knight controlling it down, passes that one to Folks. Folks working his way
Let's
downhill.
go. Good thing.
And that's a turnover. So Dublin able to get in front of Folks and force that one out of bounds. Purnell trying to inbound it. That's Dublin. Working it to the middle. Flynn with it. Flynn trying to get it down to Dublin. Dublin looking for Purnell. Purnell to the bucket. Gets it to go.
As you can see, when we play with a little bit of pace and confidence, we're fine. Now let's get a stop here, fellas. Get a stop.
This one from deep three-point range off the mark.
So number 15 has shot 6 3-pointers since he's been in the game. So we know when he's... It's a good block.
Folks letting us know that was blocked. He sends Dublin's shot into the rafters.
Hey, he's commentating for himself.
Yeah, there you go. maybe he's got a future on this side of the table.
You never know. Hey, he's working on maybe broadcasting is in his future as well.
There you go. That one going off of Williams, and now he gets it back. Going to find Folks. Folks going up for the layup, and he's fouled. So now, less than 4 minutes into the second half, the team's already up to 7 fouls.
Yes, it looks like Folks hurt himself on that as well. I'm not sure if he hurt himself before the push or after the push, but it seemed like he didn't get any type of explosiveness off, so I think he rolled his ankle trying to go up for the layup. So hopefully he's okay. But again, another bad turnover. That play that they ran is a similar play that we ran back in 2008 that worked very well, but the guard on the outside did not pass to the right player. But again, these unforced turnovers is what's really hurting us. We're only down by 6. It's not too much, but they're playing like they're down by 20. They're playing like the momentum is weighing on them. So we got to get through that.
Referees did not like the push there.
No.
Clearing out the lane. That foul was on Kenneth, his first.
We just have to watch how this injury or how it impacts Folks. Is it something that's just like a little tweak, or is it something that may impact him for the duration of the game? So that's something we got to keep our eye on.
Folks knocks down both, extends the lead back up to 8, and the ball is going to stick with Lincoln. One head out to Folks, but Purnell going to take it away. Purnell coming down the lane,
Good D.
not able to finish it off. Dublin going back up. He'll get fouled, and he'll head to the line.
That's good D.
And you can see the talent on display for Folks.
Great athlete. Did you see that?
Yeah.
That was great. Wish the guard would have went up. He went up inspecting contact instead of just going up to score. That reminded me of what happened to me when I played against Glen Mills in 2008. Similar thing. Got blocked off the backboard like that, so I know how he feels.
You remember the blocks. You remember the ones because you turned to the student section and you're probably like, oh,
Yeah,
man, that wasn't me.
I hope you guys didn't see that.
Dublin off on both free throws. Bit of an unexpected empty trip for him. Usually very, very good shooter. Williams inbounding it. Folks, floater gets it to go, and this is slowly becoming his game. He's got 6 points in this second half, 8 overall. Flynn to Purnell. Purnell working it to Kenneth. Kenneth reverses. Dublin firing away from 3 off the mark. Flynn able to come up with it. Now he's trapped in the corner. We're going to get 3 seconds. That's going to get Shillingsford inside. A 10-point lead for Lincoln. And Knight's going to start with the ball. Penwood back in their zone.
And you can see how the early fouls has hurt Penwood when it comes to how they attack defensively. So they have to sit back and wait. So if Lincoln wanted to try to run the clock out, we're kind of in a situation to where we either have to force ourselves to go to man or whatever the case may be. So we're not playing traditional Penwood basketball because of the foul trouble.
Right.
So hopefully we can get some fresh bodies in, or we can find a way to just get some momentum, because this is not traditionally how we do things.
That one tipped. Flynn going to come up with it. They have a risky cross-court pass. Dublin headed to the rim. He gets fouled, and he'll head to the line. That one's on Williams. It's his second. So now Dublin a chance for a little redemption at the line after the empty trip earlier. He had 2 points in the first half. Knocks that one down. Kenneth coming off. Bulward coming back in. Important to note, Bulward had 3 fouls. That one's off the mark, so 1 of 2. And now head down the other way quickly is Murray. Murray, the star of the first half for this team, is going to get himself to the line. Purnell called for that foul.
How many does Purnell have?
Waiting on the scoreboard to check. He's at 2.
Second, okay, that's not bad. But now they're 1-1 for everything now. So
Yep.
It's not to say that they're the best free throw shooting team, but it definitely slows the game down. But this could possibly work in our benefit, though. If they're not going to capitalize on the missed free throws, if they split every possession, if they make only one of every two, and we come down and score, we could definitely get back in this game. But we have to box out.
Williams able to get the board and finish. He's got 7 second-half points. He's up to double figures now with 10. Now Flynn attacking the bucket, misses, gonna get called for foul and head to the line. So Flynn, a chance at the line, had 3 of those in the first half, 2 of 3. And I'm looking up and down my score sheet right now, and I believe Matthew Williams is the only one that's knocked down a 3 in this game.
Yeah, I was going to say, there's only been 1 3-pointer made the entire game. But it hasn't stopped them from shooting.
No, we've seen a number of 3s go up. Williams has 1 the first half, 1 the second half. That's it. That's all the 3s we've seen. Because when I saw the 3 next to his name, I was like, that's unique. That's something I haven't seen around the rest of my score sheet today.
Yes.
This is a team, this Penwood team's proven they can shoot in the past. This is a kind of an uncharacteristic run for them as Flynn goes 1 of 2 at the line.
Heck, you don't need to be that far up.
Purnell, that really bothering Murray up front. And that one's going to stick with Lincoln. Really good job of pressing. And like you said, Purnell a little close there, a little too close with the foul situation right now. But
you don't want to get a foul 94 feet from the basket.
No.
But it was good pressure.
Purnell able to get himself in good position, goes up, gets called for the contact, and will head to the line. So we're going to get a timeout from Lincoln. 41-31, the score in their favor.
Yes.
But you can feel the energy on the Penwood side, especially after that run. What do you think they're talking about over in the Lincoln huddle right now?
I think coach, in the Lincoln huddle.
In the Lincoln huddle.
In the Lincoln huddle, I think he's trying to tell them, stop making these stupid mistakes. Right now, you want to keep your foot on the pedal, and I think they're kind of letting off, and they're going to allow Penwood to creep back in the game. I think the coach wants them to blow this thing out the water and don't give them any confidence that they have hope. And right now, Penwood feels a little bit of hope, and he wants to steal the hope from them. Because even watching him during halftime talking to his team, you could tell he doesn't expect the game to be close. And the fact that it was close was a disappointment. He came in here thinking they're going to blow Penwood out, and that's what he wants. So right now, he's just trying to say, hey, we got to keep our foot on their neck. What do you think?
I think the way you started was perfect with it. You got to stop making these mistakes. Yep. The mistakes they're making are frustrating, considering you can see with what they've been able to accomplish in the first 5+ minutes of this half that they have the capability of putting on a run that puts this one at arm's length, and they can kind of run it out, especially with the foul trouble.
Yes.
They should be able to close it out. Now with Penwood kind of struggling at the line, if I'm in that huddle, I'm like, just keep moving. Don't try and win every play.
Don't play their game, play our game. And I think that right now we're just in the influx of each other playing each other's game instead of one team identifying who they are and playing their style of play.
Williams working down low. That was a good look by Fowler. Fowler getting it down to Murray, and Murray will head to the line for 2. So his first opportunity of this second half. 2 for 3 from the line in the first half at 8 points. And now, with the next foul from Penwood, he will spend the rest of the half 2 free throws. Murray off on the first.
They're not capitalizing on these free throws, though.
Both teams in this second half having a bit of trouble at the line. Knocks that one down. He's up to 9 points. Now Massenburg went into a bit of trouble. Dublin with it. Dublin down to Purnell. Purnell working it to Bulward. Bulward thinking about going up. Ball just slipped away, and now Fowler gets it. They're getting a walk.
But they call timeout?
They're giving a timeout. Wow. So Lincoln going to get the timeout. Fooled both of us. We thought that was for sure.
So who called the timeout? Was it Lincoln?
Lincoln's getting the timeout for that one. They'll keep it when we come back to action. They hold an 11-point lead, and just taking a look at the numbers for this team so far, Demir Folks up at 8 points now, 6 of them in the second half. Murray still leads the team with Murray with 9. Matthew Williams now leads the team with 10. He's got the 2 threes that unique to the way this game's been played so far. James Fowler up to 5 points. On the other side, Neem Purnell has 6. Sio Kenneth with 4. Jerry Flynn 5. Evan Bulward with 6. Those are your leaders on both sides.
Would you say a vast majority of Penwood's points are coming from the free throw line?
I would absolutely say that. I can count 1, 2, I believe 8 buckets. So you're what? That's 16 points. 15 of the other points coming from the line.
So about
half.
50%?
Yeah. Lincoln trying to make something happen. Murray with it up top. This one to the corner, another 3, and that one goes.
He's the shooter, you could tell, because he's been letting it fly all
He's
day.
been waiting to get one to go down, and now it's a 14-point lead, and that's going to be a turnover. Folks looking for Fowler. Fowler going to get fouled, and he'll find himself at the line. What do you make of that sequence?
I mean, definitely a rough pass. You definitely don't want to throw a quarterback type throw from one side of the court to the opposite side of the court with defense rolling. But it's definitely what Lincoln wants. They want this momentum after a three-point shot that from their shooter, you could tell he's been shooting all day, and he has the ultimate green light. So this isn't the momentum that we want, because you could tell his shot is going to give the team some extra juice. So let's see what happens, because it seemed like the spark has been lit from Lincoln's standpoint at least.
Off the mark on both, but still a 14-point lead for Lincoln. Massenburg and Dublin trying to get up the floor. Bulward with it now. We're going to get a reach. I'll put Lincoln up to 5 team fouls.
You don't do a bounce pass in the middle of the court.
That's 3 fouls now for Murray. Working it down to Shillingsford, spinning.
Good pass, come on.
Off on the finish. Dublin going back up for it. He's on the line. That'll be out of bounds on him. Williams working over to Murray. Murray out to the corner. Oh, a good fake right there, and knocks it down for 2.
The spark has been lit.
He's shooting the ball well. Now he's up to 5 points.
Good job. You got to keep attacking, keep attacking.
Massenburg turns that one over.
They have to work with each other during the press. It seems like they have that attitude, like, okay, he has the ball, I'm going to go. We have to break the press as a team. So if he's up back, somebody needs to be behind us. Somebody needs to be in the middle. They should have their position. Is right now, that's the only thing that's hurting us right now. It seems like when we get pressed, we're flustered, and we're not as confident as we are if we were in a fast break sense. So we have to find a way to combat this press, because it seems like it's starting to hurt us.
Yeah, and in talking to Coach earlier in the season, because this had been a problem in earlier games about breaking the press, it was one of those things where it's like, we just got back in the gym. You know, it's again, and everyone's going through it. It's the difficulty of this season, but you would have a month, almost a month to 6 weeks, really, of hardcore preseason prep, and especially out-of-conference type games where you'd be able to start putting into practice your press breaks.
Yes. And for the most part, I mean, the press breaks that they're running now is similar to the press break that we ran when I was in high school. So I know for this team, there's not a lot of freshmen or sophomores starting, so they know what they should be doing. The question is, are they confident in their skill set to do it? And it seems like they don't seem as confident in what they're doing. It looks like they're a little rattled by the pressure instead of being confident to attack the pressure. So they need to get off their heels and get on their toes.
Right. And for you, if you could think back to your playing days, had you not had that month, 6 weeks really build up to the season, how do you think your teams would have fared? How do you think the entire environment would be different around your team?
So the only thing is, I'm not really sure how close knit of a group this team is. I know that my senior year, we were a very close knit group, even though we had a lot of transfers. I transferred from Bonner, we had a transfer from Comtech, but we were a very close knit group, and I think that overall, you will see us when we played, the communication was a little bit more. You see us communicating with each other, trying to figure out what we can do. Okay, you messed up. What can we do better in the play to have things work out? So I just think communication-wise, you don't really hear anything on the court. I can't really see who's the true leader, who's the person galvanizing the team outside the coach. When I played, we had a lot of leaders. I was one of the captains, and there's other captains on the team that kept galvanizing us together. So just got to look for that type of thing.
Well, Williams knocks down both at the line for him.
Good job.
And now Bullward headed the other way. We get foul. That was interesting.
Yeah.
There wasn't actually much contact.
No.
It was more of a fall and getting called for really nothing that happened there. Kenneth firing away from three. That's off the mark.
Stay.
That one staying with Penwood.
Two.
And Williams got to the line down there. I do want to bring up Abdullah Dublin, I believe, is up to 4.
Okay.
For him, foul-wise. This one, Bullward off the mark. That's coming towards us. Got up close and personal there with Chris Murray.
Yes.
Coming right towards the table.
But he's going to give us a handshake or something.
I thought so, too. I thought he was coming in for an interview. Massenberg, this one to Purnell. Purnell for 3 off the mark. Kenneth down low, gets the board sent back. Bullward offensive board, no good. And Folk's going to get the board after blocking the shot earlier. Williams head towards the bucket. Off the mark, he'll head to the line. Matthew Williams with 9 second half points, 12 points overall. To the line one more time. 13 for him now.
So Penwood has scored how many points this quarter? 4?
4, 5, I believe.
Points.
No, 6. There was 26-25 at half, so 6 points for them.
Points. And they scored almost 26.
20. Yeah. That's where this one's at. Williams knocks that one down. So. Not sure how many people get the paper anymore. I guess they don't even do the box scores on paper anymore. So I was going to say, when you look at the box score tomorrow.
You check the box score, see, okay, this third quarter.
First quarter, second quarter, pretty even game. Third quarter was where this one has certainly gone awry. As Kenneth fighting for it. He's got a lot of Lincoln players around him. Somehow comes out of there with it. Massenberg now up top. Massenberg working it down low. That's Shillingsford off the mark. Fowler board. He gets it up the floor. And this one off the mark. No good. Rolling on out of bounds. It'll stay with Lincoln. I realize I'm the 20-year-old making the newspaper reference. That's an old soul type of moment for me.
And the thing is, when I played, I used to enjoy getting the paper after I played.
Right.
Any little thing you did, whether you make one free throw or you foul someone, your name is in the paper. So I used to always enjoy that, so I could show my mother that, hey, there I am.
End of the third quarter, we'll be back with more from Penwood. It's 51-31 Lincoln. You're watching SFBN. Welcome back inside the shoebox here on SFBN. Lincoln High School versus Penwood in some boys basketball action. I'm Ray Dunn, joined by Javon Edwards. 51-31, a big third quarter from Lincoln.
Yes.
Has put them up by 20 here. And Javon, what are we seeing out of this team so far right now? Is an offensive foul. Going to send that one the other way.
I'm seeing that, once Penwood had to get out of their man-to-man pressure because of early foul trouble and they got put in the zone, we see that Lincoln was able to take full advantage of it. Now we have the wide lead that we have was 20 points because the first half didn't look like this. It was a very back and forth, called like a seesaw type game, but now it looks like Lincoln has blown things out the water. So I'm hoping that Penwood could come out with some good energy to change this outcome because it's not what I expected.
Massenberg with it now. Absolutely not what I expected after the first half to be sitting here at a 20-point game in the fourth quarter. Forward, Kenneth off the mark. Crawford pulling down the board, loses control. And now going the other way, Lincoln, this one up and in. That's Richardson getting himself on the board. First two of the afternoon for him.
Come to the middle.
Kenneth trying to break the press on his own. Kicking this one towards the referee.
Maybe he's on the team.
Hey, listen.
As I watch them try to break the press, I'm watching the Penwood players stand next to the defender. They're not actually trying to get the ball. It's like they're okay with just watching the individual try and make the turnovers. Like they don't want to make the mistake, so just go ahead. And they have to stop that.
And you can tell, just listening to you can hear you as they're going down the floor, get to the middle, get to the middle. And you've seen it because you've been in this program. You've seen exactly how they're taught and what they're supposed to do. And it's, I imagine, tough for you. You wish you were out there on the floor, able to run to the center, flash, get the pass, and break it. But it's similar issues, and I think they're going to go back and watch this one. And when they see what they were doing, they're going to understand why it was so difficult to break the press.
Yes, and again, I think the biggest thing that I'm looking for is just the overall leadership. I can't identify who the true team captain is or who's the true person that galvanized the team together because they're not that far behind. But since they don't have anyone bringing them together, it feels like they're just down a million.
And that one off the mark by Knight, Shillingsford. Now Flynn with it, works his way into a double. We got a foul call. And we're in the 1-1, so we got bonus going on each side. So we're gonna be doing free throws for a bit here.
Good shot.
Flynn earns the second.
And Flynn's having a pretty good game for him. They're just having to come in this second quarter, then play the whole entire first quarter. He's been doing really well. Yeah.
He had lit up some stat sheets a season ago, certainly for this team, leading them where they were last year. He's off on the second. He's at 6 points, 4 of 7 from the line. And this one fired away from deep off the mark. Richardson trying to make something happen, and now another three-pointer on the way. That one goes.
$2 for $1.
Tamir Powell gets himself on the scoreboard.
Now look, see, middle's open.
Forward has that one taken away. Powell working his way down the floor. We get a whistle. I believe that will result in 2 free throws for Powell. That is going to be a timeout for Penwood. Bullward now up to 4 fouls. And at this point, you're trying to iron out what has gone wrong and establish, the fixes for what's happened going forward.
Yes. I mean, I think that every game, no matter what, I don't consider wins and losses. Either you earn wisdom or you learn a lesson, right? So right now, this is a great lesson for Penwood. Identifying what things that we did that worked in the beginning, that kept us in the game, and then identify the things that allowed us to lose the lead and put us in this position. So I think that definitely playing without fouling, I think, boxing out, and I think just playing with overall heart. Because right now, I think that's the biggest thing that I don't see. I don't see the heart. I don't see the grit. I don't see I had to do my best to try to get over the hump. I think they're just like, okay.
It is one of those things, you're down 20. It's tough. You got to keep your eyes away from the scoreboard at this point. You got to just go out there, play your game. I'm interested. I saw Boy Mackay get thrown in there to start the quarter. I thought I saw him walking towards the court. I hope we see more of him. Great future. I enjoy watching him. I got to do a JV game, I think it was 2 weeks ago. He was going back and forth. And I thought he was really, really talented. He went back and forth with Holy Ghost Prep. 2 lead guards in that JV game. He performed really well. I'd like to see him get some more time. He'll head back to the bench now. But for me, it's someone that I've enjoyed watching in the couple of games I've been able to do here at Penwood.
Yeah, I'd definitely love to see him, get some varsity minutes and some good experience. But again, this lead is, although it seems very big, it took Lincoln 3 minutes to get this lead in the third quarter. So
that's a good point.
So it won't take that long for us to.
We got about 6 minutes left here.
Exactly. So I think that instead of us understanding that 20 points is essentially what, 10 buckets.
Yeah.
so I mean we could definitely do it, but we have to have that notion and that mindset to think that we can do it. And I don't think they think that.
And a stats nerd would tell you the regression to the mean on the 3-point shooting means that there's a hot stretch coming at some point.
Yes. So there you go. Somebody stays in the middle. That's good. Way to break. Oh.
Working that one down low.
Hopefully, I wonder if Coach Matt still has White in his out-of-bounds plays. Let's see if he can run White. That was a great play that we ran back in 2008. That worked all the time.
Giving away some trade secrets on the broadcast here.
Yeah, there you go.
Dublin
corner, knock it down.
to the corner, Purnell off the mark. And we're going to get a foul on him. That's Purnell's third. And we will once again see some Lincoln free throws. This time Richardson will head to the line. First opportunity for him from the line. He's got 2 points. Didn't see action in the first half.
Has Lincoln coach start going to the bench?
I believe a little bit. Not too much, though, because you still see Knight out there. You're still seeing Powell out there. It's off the mark. Board pulled down by Purnell. Dublin with it now, has his pocket picked. Oh, man. Powell trying to take the house down with that.
Wow.
Not able to finish that one off, but certainly some points for athleticism there. Good job there.
Gonna charge?
Drawing a foul, going to get a charge.
Although Lincoln is up, they're still playing as if they're down.
Yes. The aggression is absolutely still there. I have to give props here. Samir Whitaker, we had talked early in that first half about him being at 3 fouls. He just picked up his 4th.
Wow.
So he's been able to go through all this time, and he did see some time on the bench, but he had some second half action here. Walk on Dublin.
Drag your pivot.
You mentioned it. It's been 12 years since you've been at the Shoebox. You love the new floor. That's another thing. But just being back at Penwood for you, getting that call from Rap Curry to come on to the broadcast and hang out with us today. What's it been like? What the experience been like for you?
It's been a great experience. Like I said, the last thing I remember is me being on this court, so it definitely feels good to be on the outside looking in. But just being around, seeing all the banners up, seeing a lot of my former teammates on that 1,000-point scoring wall, it definitely feels good. And I definitely want to do more of this, so hopefully this isn't the last time here.
Hopefully not, and just what Penwood means to you. I mean, again, coming back here, definitely, you could see the emotion. I saw you checking out that 1,000-point score. You got some shots up on the floor pregame. Just all that going through, what's that like for you?
Again, it's kind of nostalgic, right? I wish my son was here to kind of see it happen, but he's enrolled in the district, so hopefully he'll be filling these shoes and have a jersey on, in a couple years. So he's class of 2032.
There you go.
But overall, it's definitely great. It feels good to be here. I'm happy to be here, and definitely want to see Penwood grow, and I want to be a part of it as they grow.
We got a 3-pointer on the way from Murray, and he knocks it down.
He came to play today.
He did. He's into double figures.
So it looks
12
like
points.
Lincoln has caught off the press, and they still have energy. Wow.
Yeah.
I'm impressed by them.
Purnell with it. And this Lincoln team, 3-0. They've had a couple impressive wins early on. 2 wins over Constitution.
Well, you would think that Penwood being a little bit more seasoned than they are, they would have came with a little bit more energy, a little bit more polish, but we have to ask them, where are they in the season? Are they kind of at the point where I just want it to be over, or are they still pushing towards the end goal?
I would imagine they're still pushing towards that end goal. They've played a lot of close games, a lot of good games. That 2-7 record really not reflective as Flynn off the mark on the left-hand layup. Dublin turning, off the mark. Flynn trying to follow. And Purnell fighting for it. Purnell firing away, knocks it down.
First three by Penn today.
Amin Purnell has been a bright spot, up to 10 points, so he's in the double figures for the Patriots. This one fired away from three, off the mark. The follow, just not enough to get his hands on that one, but they'll stay with Lincoln. 62-36, 3.5 minutes till the final whistle.
So what Penn needs to do is, again, this game is, I mean, we could say it's over, but you still have to practice. You still have to finish hard, or finish strong, I should say. So take these last 3 minutes and try to identify certain things. Try to run certain sets, see how they work. Try to find good lineups or different lineups for future games. But this is the time for us to identify what we could do in the future. I wouldn't take this time to have our head down and try to just have the time go past. Let's try to really run some things. Let's try to run some sets. Let's try to run different defenses and see how it works and see how movement can go.
With that foul right there, Flynn fouls out, so Akai going to come in for him. Crawford checking into the game as well for Shillingsford. Flynn just trying to attack the basket there, got called for the offensive. And now Folks with it, going to the bucket, gets the floater to go. How about this second half for him?
Well, the coach said he's one of the players that we need to watch out for. I know that the last couple seasons for him have been a little rough with injuries and different things like that. And he's a senior, so he's definitely trying to, you know, make a name for himself to possibly get a college scholarship or something like that. So these minutes and these times are crucial for him as a senior.
Yes. Getting a season at all, I mean, for these seniors is just so difficult. And I covered the Methacton team a season ago. I covered them from when they were much younger. Seeing them go the distance, and then last year with everything ending with COVID-19, heart went out to them. And for the seniors this year, you know, nothing has been normal. Nothing. No. You've got no semblance of normalcy. Your school year's been all over the place, and just to have a season to play is so important, so amazing just for them to get a chance to be out here playing right now.
I couldn't imagine if this was my senior year, what would I do?
Yeah.
I couldn't imagine. You know, just the first, you can't really have any true fans here. I know, and fans, if they were to come, they're a little reluctant to come because nobody wants to be in a big group. We have to practice our social distancing, of course.
Come down the other way. Foul, Bowler will head to the line. But yeah, absolutely. I mean, my brother is a senior in high school right now, and I just feel for him. He got his soccer season in, which I was very grateful for. But, you know, all the typical things you think about senior year, all the memories you have is just totally different.
This is gone. So I couldn't imagine what it's like for them. So I definitely tip my hat to all these players because they're going through circumstances that I couldn't imagine going through, not having the ability to work out as much as I want to, not having the ability to have as much gym time. So I definitely feel for them, but again, you know, the way life is, you just have to adjust, and that's what they're doing right now. I couldn't even imagine playing with a mask on.
Yeah. You got to, of course, tip the cap to all the people, administration, that have been able to make this possible. You know, the sanitizing the gym as we come walking in, the people filing the forms, taking the temperatures. A lot has gone into pulling this one off. And Rap and I talked about that when we did the first broadcast here, but always worth mentioning the incredible work that everyone's done here. Dublin going to get called for a walk.
No, kudos to everyone. First off, kudos to all the frontline workers that are still out there every day battling and making sure everyone is safe. But administration, you know, everyone that's able to put this together, and it's definitely not as easy as it looks. So we definitely, you know, tip our hat to everyone that has put this together to allow us to all be safe in this environment and allow these kids to have their season. So it's definitely something big.
Just under 2 minutes now left. Lincoln controlling it. I imagine it'll be a lot of passing around, working around here. Folks head towards the bucket. As I say that, he gets himself the foul, and he will head to the line.
So as we wrap this game up, is any bright spots that you want to talk about? Any key players or anything? Or
For me, I mean, I think the first half, certainly when you're looking on the Penwood side, the aggressiveness, what they were able to do in that part of the game was key, and I think that's something definitely to build on going forward. Second half, Neem Purnell has put together a solid scoring game. I liked what I saw from Evan Boward, the aggressiveness. Got to stick away from the foul a little bit, but I've liked what I've seen from him. And Purnell, trying to prove my point for me, gets that bucket to go.
Right on cue.
And when you're looking at the Lincoln side, I mean, obviously, second half has been full of positives for them. I think you've been able to see up and down the roster what they've been pulling off. And Coach didn't lie to us. Matthew Williams, Demir Folks, both very good at basketball and very, very talented. So they've been able to show off what they can do, both in double figures. So, I mean, yeah, there's a lot of positives to take away. I'm a generally positive person. So you give me a game, and I'm going to find something to like about it.
Well, and just to piggyback off what you said, I think that there are a lot of positives that we can take from this game. Lincoln is definitely, although this is only their fourth game, you could tell that they're in shape. You can tell they're going to play hard, and you can tell they're playing for something. What that is and what they're chasing after, I would love to see. So it's definitely a team I'm going to keep my eye out on for the remainder of the season, just to see how well they go, how far they go. But for Penwood's standpoint, you can tell that they look a little young. You can tell that they're still trying to find their identity as far as who they are, what they want to do.
Murray, a windmill to close this one out. And we're going to get a technical foul. Wow.
Is he supposed to do that?
Wow.
Is he supposed to do that? That was like real life. Well, welcome back.
Yeah. So we're going to get a technical foul. We're going to have free throws coming from Purnell. An exclamation point on a big day for him and a big day for Lincoln.
That was a real life windmill.
Yeah. No, we saw that. That one happened.
That was all the way down full extension. What a play. He's only in high school?
Only in high school.
Oh, man. I can't even do that on an official price court. Like, how did you see that? They just did the extension, the arm extension worked there all the way around. Well, he got the gym going.
Yeah. Empty gym, and it felt loud. It felt loud. There's a sense of normalcy with the noise in here after that one.
Yeah.
I think we all had a similar reaction of, wow, we just saw that.
So did he get the dunk? Did he get the tech because he dunked?
I think it was the reaction. I think it could be a tech for being up, the margin you are in dunking. I don't think that's in the referee's wheelhouse, though. I think it was more the reaction. You had people up, moving towards the floor.
Well, I think it shocked all of us.
Yeah, no, as I was calling it, I was a little surprised at what I was talking about.
Thank God for this screen right here.
Yeah.
I would have missed it.
Well, I saw him go up, and I was like, there's no way he's trying this right now.
Wow. Well, as you can see, they're
going to dribble this one out.
They're going to dribble it out. It's a good game. I can say it definitely ended with a splash.
Yeah.
But Lincoln is definitely a good team. They're definitely a team to watch for the remainder of the season. I know that Penwood is starting to close up their season as far as getting to the tail end of what they're going to do. I'm not sure how with districts or anything of that magnitude looks like what it takes to qualify for something like that. But every game is a learning experience, and I think that Penwood has a lot to learn from this. And also Lincoln has a lot to take from this as far as wisdom they can take. Just before halftime, the game was only up by 1 point. And to see them win by 29? 29. Having them win by 29 is definitely a good feat. So, Ray, thank you for allowing me to join you today.
Oh, thank you for joining me, Javon. It's been a pleasure.
Definitely a
Absolute
great time.
Pleasure.
I hope we can definitely do this again, and the outcome be much different.
Well, that's the final here from the Shoebox. Lincoln wins this one 70-41. You have been tuned into SFBM for Javon Edwards and myself, Ray Dunn. We will talk to you real soon.